Hey, good morning. Welcome to another episode of the Daily Dose. Happy Monday to you. We're going to jump right in here and I'm going to share with you why people over 40 continue to struggle with your weight. And, I know the first thing that's going to come up, the first thing you say, yes, it just gets harder with age. But that's not really the reason why people continue to struggle. It is a struggle that people have. It is hard. It's no different, it's no different as far as in calories when you're younger and older. The difference is how our body processes calories, but that's not even the reason. I'm going to share with you the number one reason why people still over 40 continue to struggle with their weight. And it's as simple as one word: time. It's time. It's time. Two words, actually. Time. We think we have plenty of it. we also realize that we're running out of it. Now, here's the thing. I did some math, so I want you to pay close attention to as you go into the last week of 2020. And it's been one hell of a year. Yes, I know. And maybe the entire year for you and your weight loss has been a complete bust. But I want to just give you this. And the reason why it made me want to share this with you, because I get a lot of people I have conversations with lots and lots of people, and people are like, you know what, now is not the right time. It's just, I'm too busy with life. I've been struggling for 10 years, but it's just not the right time to get a coach and to take control back with my weight and get the help that I need and get on the right path and live the life that I'm truly meant to live. I'm just going to wait a little longer. And the problem with that is, let's do some math. There's not enough time. You don't have enough time left. I looked, and the average, there's 52 weeks in a year. So let's do some reframing here for a bit. So if you say the average person lives for 80 years, let's just say 80 years. Now you may have, a great family history of genetics and people that live in their 90s, but let's just take, for argument's sake, just 80 years. So let's say you're on this planet for 80 years. What that turns out to in weeks is just about 4,160 weeks. 4,160 weeks that you have of existence on this planet. Now, if you're 100 years, it would be 5,200 weeks. So right now, let's just kind of take it for the average. I think it's about 82 in that range for men and women, in that range, 78 to 82, somewhere in there. You can do the math after. It's pretty straightforward. 52 weeks times 80 years, 4,160 weeks. Okay, so we're going to talk 4,160 weeks on Earth to live, right? Now, for me, I'm just going to share with you, I did my math, and I'm at 48 years old, and I'm 2,500 weeks in. 2,500 weeks in, which means I have approximately, if I live to 80, God willing, I have approximately 1,664 weeks left. Okay, so I'm here. If I live to 80 years old, I'm already on this earth longer than half of my life so far, right? It's kind of scary to think when you do that. Let's just say if you're 40 years old, you have 2,080 weeks left. If you're 50 years old, you have 1,560 weeks left. If you're 60 years old, you have just about, now again, we're talking if you live to 80. Now you could live less, you could live longer, but we're just talking on the average. So you have approximately, if you're 60 years old right now or anything close, you have about 1,040 weeks left to live. If you're 70 years old, it gets kind of under the 1,000 there. If you're 70 years old, you have 520 weeks left to live, right? So again, and of course, nobody knows when their time, only God knows that, when your last days on earth here. And the reality is, time's running out. Like I talk about, we did a Black Friday deal. Now today, speaking of time running out, today is my very last day for my Black Friday sale. I'll never be doing a sale like this probably for the next 12 months. I might have some specials this coming month, but it's not going to be anything like what I did over Black Friday. And I had some people jump on board, and I had other people that I talked to that were like, you know what? And they're 50 years old, even 60 years old, and struggle for 10, 15, 20 years, some, which is incredible. It just happens, right? Life gets in the way. The problem is life's going to stop getting in the way when you run out of it. And the reality is, growing old is truly a privilege that we're not guaranteed. There's no guarantee you're going to live to 80. And I can tell you this, if you're 40, 50, 80 pounds overweight, there's a high probability that you're not going to live nearly as long as you are anticipating, especially if you're not taking care of yourself, right? That just makes sense. That's just common sense. If you're not taking care of your body, why would it want to continue to take care of you and to live a long life? Does that make sense? So here's the problem. Waiting is never going to help a situation. If you have been struggling on a weight loss journey, if you're over 40, maybe you're over 50, maybe you're even over 60, there should be an urgency. See, the number one reason and problem that people have why they're still struggling over 40 with their weight is because there's no urgency. You're not making it urgent enough for you to take care of your health problems and your health issues, and weight loss is one of them, and a lot of things related to that, right? It's easy to say, well, now is not the right time. I can't invest in a coach or myself right now. I'm just too busy. Schedule's busy. Life is busy. I have too many expenses, all those things. Guess what? Time's running out. The problem that happens is you think you have an endless amount of time. And I know the reality is none of us do. In fact, the death rate in the world is still 100%. In other words, everybody will live to a certain time and then they won't. And that's just a reality. So maybe a harsh reality for Monday morning, but I just want to encourage you is to not wait, to stop waiting, to stop thinking you have an endless amount of time. Because the reality is we just did the numbers. You can go back and do your numbers, multiply 52 weeks by your age, and then you can minus it, subtract it from 80 years old. Now, shoot, you can even do 90. Go ahead and do it for 90. You're going to realize that the weeks are going by quick and time is running out. And if you don't take action now, you're not going to be able to take action. And here's the harsh reality is if you continue to wait, if you continue to just say, now is not the right time, let me just get my life in order. Let me just take care of, I had a conversation last week with somebody who was talking about in their retirement. Well, you know what? I see plenty of people. They make plenty of money. They work hard, and you should, right? There's something to be said about working hard to make plenty of money for retirement. And now more than ever, you need even more money than ever. But you know what happens is, are you really excited to, if you don't take care of yourself now, to spend your entire retirement having to be forced to take care of yourself because you haven't chosen to do that while you were younger, when you had more time to do it? Now you only have time, and guess what? You're spending it at doctor's offices. They're saying, oh, you need this surgery, Mrs. Jones, and you need to go on this medication. And you know what? We need to just do a scope on this because you are overweight and out of shape, and you have high cholesterol and you have high blood pressure. And guess what? You're at a high risk. All those things taken into consider. Do you really think you have enough time? You can try and trick yourself in thinking you're going to have plenty of time, but then what happens when time runs out? And that's the number one reason why people over 40, struggling over 30, I would say maybe you struggle a little bit, but you have plenty of time, right? You're not even halfway there. But if you're over 40, you have less than half. You're past your half point time. Like, I think I'm about halfway there, but I feel like I'm just getting started because you know what? I'm not wasting time not taking care of myself now. Now, there's no guarantee how long I'll live on this earth, and there isn't for you either, but I'll tell you what, time is running out for all of us. And I can tell you, not to scare you, but maybe there's a little need for some urgency why you need to start taking better care of yourself. And hey, today is the last day to get into my Black Friday deal. Now, with my program, if you qualify, and we need to get on a call, I have a couple of spots open. I'm pretty full this morning, but I have a few spots open to see if you'd be a good fit. And if so, it's the absolute most insane time to get into my program because I'm making it like a no-brainer on value. Giving you 6 months of free coaching, that and enough should be having you jump on the call to realize maybe those extra 6 months of coaching you give you could add on an extra 6 years on your life. How about that? So anyway, take care. Have a blessed day. More to come. Talk soon. Happy Monday.